Okay, so today's topic, we're going to talk about root chakra. It's also known as the Muladhara chakra. That's the very basic, your first chakra. Whenever you are working with your chakras, that's at the starting with the first chakra is your root chakra, located at the base of your spine at the tailbone. And just like what it suggests, it actually root chakra talks about your basic necessity of food, shelter, money, your basic instinct, your survival. That is what it relates to. So your root chakra is largely important in healing other chakras as well. And I know later on we will talk more about the other chakras as well. But today we'll just focus on the root chakra. So when we're talking about the root chakra, think of it as a root of the tree. If you want to have if you want to grow something, if you want to grow a nice healthy tree, your root needs to be healthy as well. Your root needs to be supported. Your root needs to be growing appropriately as well. So keeping that concept in mind, if you are striving for your spiritual journey, if you are going to looking to do yourself, enhance your spiritual practice, if you wanted to go a little bit more into spirituality, or even overall you want to make a better version of yourself, root chakra is the first chakra you should focus on. And we'll talk more about it, what it does. Root chakra, obviously it's just like it says, is grounded. Grounding, feeling of groundingness, that's basically is tied up with your root chakra. It gives you the stability, gives you the calmness, gives you the mental health that you require to cope with a lot of different things in your life. And it stems from your healthy root chakra. When it's balanced, you are feeling emotionally balanced as well. When we're talking about emotionally balanced, it's not just not being angry, but able to handle any situation with more faith in yourself, faith in God, or faith on the universal energy, whatever you believe in, but having that confidence in your ability that emotionally you can withstand whatever the challenge you may be facing in your life, or you may have something coming up. So that is what basically a balanced root chakra helps you emotionally as well. Physical health, obviously, you're going to be at the very best health because all the organs are the bottom one are working properly. Your colons, in men's case, it's about the prostate. For women, reproductive organs. So all those organs are working well, and obviously you're going to have a better physical health as well. Overall positive attitude, being comfortable in the body. When we're saying the comfortable in the body, not just physically how you look, but just be able to be yourself around others, be able to yourself with your own spouse, with your own family, and not having to feel that you have to withhold a part of you. So that's what it basically means, being comfortable in your own body, being comfortable with yourself, around others, and truly being who you are. That is what root chakra resonates with. Again, giving stability, feeling more grounded in your own self, feeling ability to fight anything in life. And that's the stability comes from the balanced root chakra. When there is imbalanceness, now all these things can cause imbalance as well. But if you have a blockage, it can cause imbalance of the root chakra. And when root chakra is not balanced, you will have fear, anxiety. Obviously, you're not very flexible in your approach. Whether it be with people, whether it be with your own self, you are very narrowly focused in whatever you're doing. So because this, again, you're stuck in your root chakra. So think of root chakra as being, again, the energy is not flowing upward like it should. And lack of energy, not able to flow properly, it gives you the stuck feeling, being blocked. And due to that, there are a lot of mental and physical limitations you will experience. Greed, hoarding. Now, eating disorder is basically talking about overeating or undereating. Many of us, I know sometimes we eat emotionally. We don't even realize that. So it's because food is comforting to us. So sometimes we do eat food because you want to have that comforting feeling. But if you have this chronic need to eat out of comfort, that means your root chakra is probably not working. You are very stuck in that feeling of security. You're not getting the feeling of security. So you are resorting to food as a form of giving you security. And if that is what you're eating, then obviously you're going to have some health issues as well, because of the eating disorders going to lead to obesity. Being constipation, if you're not taking care of your constipation, can block your root chakra, or as due to the blocked root chakra can also cause constipation as well. And obviously with constipation, you're talking about hemorrhoids, and then further traveling into your sciatica and the leg issues as well can be caused due to the blockage in your root chakra. Now, the blockage is caused in a root chakra. Root chakra, it's again keeping that tree, root of the tree in mind. Think of it again that way, and you will see that a lot of buried emotions, a lot of disappointments, they actually stays in the unconscious cellular memory of your root chakra. And that is what a lot of time the emotional issue stems from. So to clear that up, you have to kind of focus on your emotions as well. So a lot of people have a coping mechanism, something you're not happy with it, your disappointments, or maybe your childhood trauma, whether you had some psychological issues that you may have experienced, something in your family event, whatever it may have caused, those unfortunately get stored in your root chakra. Some people are able to work those issues out early in their life, and then they are okay with it. Some people have a different coping mechanism. Some people have a coping mechanism as just buried down and not resolve those issues. So as you keep piling up all those issues, it eventually gets clogged. Think about that. It's eventually you are going to feel that stuck feeling that you're not able to get out. And it just creates a downward spiral. You were just going to be constantly feeling stuck in those same emotions and same pain of your childhood. You think you could get away with it, then over the years, you'll go away, then you'll come back. So there is that whole cycle of that it goes through. So it's, again, relates back to your root chakra to say, how do you remove those blockages so you don't fall in the same trap of going into this again, this downward spiral of feeling pain, having self-pity. Obviously, the idea and the goal is to make yourself a better, right? Make yourself emotionally healthy as well. So removing this blockage is important, of course. So how do we do that? Again, there are a lot of tools available at your dispense. Yoga therapies is one. Some of these poses that are very, very effective. Malasana is basically a squat pose. If you are regularly doing a yoga therapy and if your body is flexible, of course, incorporating some of the squat poses in your asanas in your yoga therapy will be very helpful. If yoga is not part of your practice on your daily practice, you can just simply start with your just sitting with the cross legs is very helpful. It activates your root chakra. If you can sit in your staff pose, Dandasana, again, if you are not able to do that for a long time, but just incorporating even for a minute or two in your daily practice, that will help activate your root chakra. If you are working with your breathing techniques, if you're working with pranayama, then you can always do your ujjayi breath pranayama. That's very helpful. Meditation, if meditation is part of your practice, you can always start, again, sitting in the Padmasana pose. You can sit one of those poses in your yoga asanas and then start with the meditation. And some of the tools that can help you activate that, again, that energy and the flow of energy that we're looking at is a mudra. Mudra is, again, joining your ring finger with your thumb right here. And then that is the mudra. And then the chanting the sound of Lam, okay, chanting the sound of Lam, or even Ganesh mantra, if you are, again, whatever, depending on your religious belief, whatever you are, either do Ganesh mantra or Lam. So the frequency, the sound frequency with the sound of Lam or even Ganesh mantra, it has that vibration basically. So the sound of each Bij mantra, we call it in a chakra healing, is a Lam. So chanting this sound is basically, there's a frequency that vibrates, and it's the sound actually goes all the way into your root chakra, and it helps clear up the energy. That is basically the logic behind it. So chanting that Bij mantra when you're doing the meditation, holding this Prithvi Mudra is one of the ways you can focus on clearing up your root chakra. Now, from the Ayurvedic perspective, Ayurvedic rule relates the chakra, especially with the root chakra, is basically apana vayu. So anytime if you are dealing with the bottom of your root chakra, you're looking at the apana vayu. So from the Ayurvedic perspective, it's important to take care of your vata dosha, because if not, then it's going to take you into your colon health, because you're going to have lower back issues, you're going to have constipation. So treating all those vata dosha, especially focusing on the apana vayu, will actually eventually help clear up your root chakra as well. So there is, again, these are all the tools available to you. You can try yoga, meditation, Ayurvedic way. Having one of those remedy basically helps opening up the root chakra and helps activate it. Now, why healing of root chakra is so important? Going back again to the basic, if you want to start your journey upwards, if you want to do a self-development, if you want to get yourself into the higher level, you want to start from the root. You want to start from the basics. So that is your creative consciousness, your self-confidence, your positive mindset, all those things, spiritual realization. It comes from healing your root chakra. And many times people have said that when they are working through healing the root chakra, they're going to have some bad memories stir up. I know we had talked about the blockage. There are a lot of this buried emotions going to surface, and it's okay. So many times people have shared their experience with me and say that when they start working with their chakra, obviously those emotions come to the surface, and then they don't want to deal with it. So again, you're going into the same pattern of bearing those emotions and disappointments, rather than looking at it as actually an opportunity for you to clear those unresolved issues that you've been holding on to. So just a word of caution, if you are really serious about clearing your root chakra, so some of this emotion may surface, and that's okay. It's okay, because that's your body's way of telling you to say, hey, this is where the problem is, and this is where you need to fix. So you need to, kind of work your way through it, have a friend or have a therapy. So many people go to therapy sessions, and if something is really troubling you, seek some mental health as well, and then talk to family members, talk to whoever you feel comfortable with. But these are the emotions you kind of need to focus and resolve. So once those are all resolved, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to have this sense of freedom. You're going to have the feeling that comfortable in your own body, comfortable feeling that anxiety and fear will not be there anymore, because you can have that confidence in your ability to say, hey, I can handle anything. So that is why basically focusing on root chakra is important. And again, all these are practices, and I know a couple of sessions ago we had talked about it too, that you cannot devote your entire time for chakra healing or any of those yogas and meditation all day long, or even self-care the Ayurveda way. It can get very overwhelming, and that is not the goal. The idea is to take this information, be aware that how you can fit in some of the tips from this session today, and how you can incorporate that. The simple, easy way to do is, if you are not doing the yoga, or if you're not doing any other exercise, just simply by sitting when you're watching TV, just sitting on the ground. If you don't have any back problem, just sitting on the ground, sitting in your Padmasana pose, or sitting into staff pose, can activate activate your root chakra without making you feel like you're actually working towards, clearing up your chakra. So these are just some of the tips. Keeping food in mind when you're working through your Ayurvedic. If you're following the Ayurvedic lifestyle, focus on your vata, pacifying food. Incorporate some of those vata remedies that we had talked about earlier. So that will also help you without feeling the pressure that you are working to clear up your root chakra. Meditation, obviously, the same thing again. If you can take a couple of minutes in a day, if you're not a regular meditator, just taking a couple of minutes in a day, having some introspection about what you want to fix, basically, whatever you want to fix that's troubling you in your mind. If you think you wanted to feel that unstuck feeling that you're feeling currently, and how do you get out of that? So just have some plan, have some protocol that you can apply to yourself, and gradually you can do that. Don't jump into it. And if you still jump into it directly to say, I want to do my chakra healing, of course, there are a lot of meditations. There are a lot of help out available, even online. There's a lot of people do chakra healing. There's gems. There are gems and color therapies people use as well for chakra healing. And if you're really serious about it, you can actually make that as a very as a priority for yourself and focus on it. But these are just some of the things I just wanted to share with you in today's session and see how you can incorporate a lot of these things in your daily routine as well. Uh, Again, just to remind you, you may not be striving for any spiritual development in your life. You may not be at the point in your life you wanna achieve, a spiritual realization. But I think as we get, all of us, as we get older, we want to be a better version of ourselves. So in process of that, being making ourselves a better version. Obviously, some of the issues always has to be needs to be worked out, right? So if you can work out your own personal issues at the emotional level, you'll be able to help you others people as well, somebody in your family, your children, parents, spouse, whoever it is. And if not, the goal is just to be happy and peace with yourself, right? I think we all ultimately, that is what our ultimate goal is. We want to be happy with ourselves, we want to be at peace with ourselves, and not get caught up in this emotional feelings. Once in a while, of course, we're all going to have bad days and sometimes things just going to happen. But how quickly you get out of those bad feelings and how quickly you get out of those emotions, that is important. That is important because that's going to help you being in a state of happiness and being peace with yourself, right? So that's pretty much about today's information. So I'm going to stop here and then